I want to call to order the Public Safety Committee for April 22nd, 2024. It's good to see each and every one of you here this evening. We'll begin with the approval of our minutes, and I'll call on our Vice Chairman for that.
Thank you, Chairman Reed. I've reviewed the minutes of March, find them all to be in order, and move for their approval as mailed.
Second. We have second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the minutes have been approved. On the public comments, we have had one request. It comes from Gregory Roden. Is Mr. Roden here this evening? Right back here. We'll ask that you come forward this time, and I'm going to call the public comment period open. For this, you'll have exactly 3 minutes to present your comments, and I believe it deals with the Renaissance Festival concerning the Spantown Road. So, good evening. Glad to have you with us, and let you speak from right there, Mr. Gregory. If you have some family with you. Okay, sir.
Thank you for allowing me here this evening. I'm a resident of 11176 Spantown Road, 100% Rutherford County, have been for over 40 plus years. I have inherited my grandparents' property and have been in the same spot since 1976. I was there when the castle was built. I was there when it started. Worked there for a couple summers when I was a teenager. I have seen the private management of it being well handled. I understand now that Williamson County government has now been placed in charge of the ownership and operation of that event. That's wonderful. That's grand. Started their first year in operation as a government-run facility was last year. It was a nightmare. My road in Rutherford County was not designed to handle the kind of traffic volume that we experienced for those 4 weekends, 3 days on Memorial Day weekend. My daughter, who I have here with me, has just had major spinal surgery. She has medical supplies delivered at random times through the week and on weekends. If she had needed something one of those weekends, if we had needed to take her to the doctor or for a physician or something for an emergency, we could not have left our home. This occurs on both Saturday and Sunday, from the time that they start opening to the time that they close. I had come back from Murfreesboro from doing some errands around approximately 12:30, 1 o'clock. The second Saturday in May of last year took me to go 3.2 miles, 2 hours and 47 minutes. I'm sorry, I had refrigerated medication for my daughter that I was trying to get back to my home. From Amelville Road, Highway 102, to my home, 3.2 miles, almost 3 hours. My children cannot play in our yard, which butts up to Spantown Road, due to the fact because starting around 3:30 each of those Saturdays and Sundays in May, they treat my road, a section of Spantown, either like a runway for an airfield or that it's ground zero and they're trying to escape an atomic bomb blast. They are speeding 60, sometimes 70 miles an hour. How do I know? I sat out there like some old codger watching these people, trying to take notes and maintain some kind of anger control as we're literally out here doing this. My children cannot play safely on our own property. I understand, and I am not asking for any cooperation from Williamson County. This is 100% on their property in their county. I'm asking the folks here in Rutherford County to please help keep the Spantown Road section of Rutherford County safe during this month-long event. Please, for my children and the other children on this road, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Roden.
Thank you, sir.
And thank you for bringing your family up here, too, this evening. All right, we'll move now into our reports. Beginning first with Fire and Rescue report, Chief Larry Farley. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, committee. I wanted to advise y'all that today, April 22nd, The fire department did take possession of the last Cass's fire hall, so we started, got together, got our equipment together, started running out of there today, and answered 2 or 3 calls. So the grand opening for the public safety building will be May the 5th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's Sunday, May the 5th, and then would invite y'all to come out and be a part of that. The Walk Hill Fire Station is probably about a month behind, so it should be completed somewhere around 1st to middle of June. So we're looking forward to opening that one too. For the month of March, we ran 776 calls. That's up from last year, it was 600 something, so it's slightly up. Year to date, we've ran 2,216 calls. And then the next page shows the call volume and plus what the volunteers have run. We've had 16 structure fires so far this year, 35 brush fires, 29 illegal burns, 29 vehicle fires, and 19 hazmats, which that's pretty high. We've had 3 water rescues. We've had 312 MVAs, 8 of those with extrication. And we've ran a total of 1,142 medical calls for a grand total of 2,487 calls this month. Out to the right, you'll see the training hours for each department that was provided. The next sheet is the report I sent to building codes that shows what family structures were damaged for that month. The next page is our fire marshal's investigation report. And then the last page shows all the unauthorized illegal burning that took place for the month of March. And that concludes my report.
I have a motion to approve.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed. I do want to commend you, sir, on a wonderful graduation ceremony. Those of us who were there were very pleased in what we did see, and for any of you that did not have an opportunity to make that, I would suggest the next one that comes up to be there, because it's quite impressive to see what those firefighters go through, the training they go through, and to see their graduation. It's something else.
So 16 firefighters went through close to 600 hours of training in 14 weeks, and it's or 16 weeks, and they're glad to get over with. But they've been dispersed among the stations now, and they're out running calls. So we'll. Of course, then Walt Hill, when we're moving to Walt Hill, it'll just be a swap from where the landfill is over to that. So we'll just be moving them to a better station. But I appreciate your comments, and y'all are always invited to come to our ceremonies. We always make sure we send invitations and enjoy it when you can. Thank you.
Thank you for the invitation.
We've got an excited community out at Las Casas. I don't know how many times I run into people from out there wanting to know when we're going to open that station out there. And so now it's coming, May 5th, we're going to have the grand opening, and I'd like to see everybody out there to be a part of that. It's on a Sunday from 2 to 4 o'clock, and I'd like to see everybody out there as to be a part of that time. In fact, last night I had people wanting to know about Walter Hill, so that one's coming up too pretty soon. All right, Sheriff's report. I believe Chief Spence has got that one. I think we got, 3 amendments, and I think you're requesting a mental health transport grant too.
Yes, sir. This morning, our inmate population was 926. This afternoon, it's 895. Update on our openings and communications. We have 8 openings, 3 scheduled to start May 6th. School resource officers has 4 positions opening, 1 scheduled to open May the 6th. Detention has 42 positions open, 4 scheduled to start April the 29th, 5 to schedule May 6th. Patrol has 27 positions open, 11 are scheduled to start May 6th. That's the end of my report.
Questions on the report? I believe you have copies on this on your iPad. Questions?
Second.
Approved. Second, Commissioner James. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? The report has been approved, and I believe we'll go now into your amendments.
Yes, sir. This amendment is to recognize revenue from other charges for services we received on vehicle fees and to recognize revenue from our insurance recovery on 3 total vehicles. We're requesting to place $150,464 in our motor vehicle line item. You want to do them all at the same time, sir?
We'll do them one at a time.
Okay.
If we can. Commissioners, you've heard that request on that amendment.
On the other charges for services and insurance recovery fees and placed into the motor vehicle line. You're welcome.
Motion approved.
Second.
Commissioner Waller. Had a second. Further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly?
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray?
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrif?
Yes.
Commissioner James?
Yes.
Commissioner Rather?
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver?
Aye.
Chairman Reed?
Yes,
Thank you.
it is approved.
This amendment is to recognize additional unbudgeted revenue and appropriate money for new laptops with updated Windows software, computer monitors, updated cameras, additional weapons and vests for the Sheriff's Office, requesting $686,000 be placed into our data processing equipment and $100,000 placed into our law enforcement equipment.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve. Commissioner
Second.
Second, Commissioner James. Further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly?
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray?
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrif?
Yes.
Commissioner James?
Yes.
Commissioner Rather?
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver?
Aye.
Chairman Reed?
Yes,
Thank you.
This amendment is to request funds from special purpose DEA restricted for public safety into our confidential line item, requesting to put $30,000 in the confidential line item.
heard the request.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Had the motion, Commissioner Beverly. I think the second was Commissioner McMurray. Further discussion?
Question. Other than the obvious, what is confidential line item?
They use it for their drug deals. Yeah, it's confidential.
I see, right. Okay, thank you.
Commissioner are on television. Okay, further discussion? If not, call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly?
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray?
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrif?
Yes.
Commissioner James?
Yes.
Commissioner Rather?
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver?
Aye.
Chairman Reed?
Yes,
Thank y'all.
it does pass. I believe you now have a request.
Yes, sir. We're requesting to apply for the State of Tennessee Mental Health Patient Transport Grant. This grant is a no matching grant. The amount is based on the number of transports that we transported last year. This is the third time we have applied for this funding.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have the motion and the second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? It is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, wanted to bring up from our public speaking, or the gentleman at the beginning of the meeting, and then here, just to let everybody know that last year I got aware of the situation up and down Spantown Road and brought it up for the last 3 months, been working with them, and our chief deputy here has reached back to me. They're working on taking care of the road during the day by getting a hold of the highway department to put the signs up, etc., and patrolling up there, and then also worked with our EMA director, Mr. Clark, as far as reaching out to Williamson County to, do the simple things like move the Google Pin to actually on-site and not off-site. So we're doing things on that end, and just wanted to let the people know that is a work in progress, and I appreciate him for speaking and passionately speaking about it, and just wanted to thank you for the work that you've done in helping us get this situation under control.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Right, PAWS report. Name of Director Michael Gregory. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Thank you. For the month of March, we had 452 animals come into the shelter. We had a euthanasia rate of 4.8%. The live release rate for our dogs was 92.3%. Cats were 95.5%, and overall, with wildlife and everything else included, was 93.7%. Our surgery program was very busy for the month. We completed 249 surgeries. Our officers completed out 1,177 calls for the month as well, traveling 8,603 miles. Fiscal year to date, we've had 3,497 animals into the shelter, a euthanasia rate of 5.1%, a live release rate of 92.7%. Officers have completed 10,564 calls, traveling a little over 75,000 miles. Our rabies and bite exposure, that report goes by calendar year versus fiscal year. For March, we had 23 bites reported. One of those was tested. It came back negative. We had 3 other exposures. One of those was tested as well. It came back negative also. And then the last page of the report is just the graph that I give you all to show you visually the animal outcomes for the month. That's my report, sir.
Questions on the report, Commissioners?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved.
Second.
Commissioner Aller, second. Commissioner Rather. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Your report has been approved.
Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Thank you, sir. OSHA report. Stay at Elam. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Chairman Reed, Commissioners, Madam Secretary. So for the month of March, incident frequency, you'll see there was a total of 19. Year to date, there was 59. Total recordables, 42. Lost day claims, 8. Restricted day claims, 30. Other recordables, 4. On the next page, on-the-job injury claims for 2024 is 59, 2023, 71, 2022, 46. On-the-job injury incurred dollars for 2024, $272,000, 2023, $268,000, 2022, $160,000. And on the last page, places where the injuries occurred, Board of Education 10, County General 9. For the County General, you had 1 at EMS, 1 at Fire and Rescue, 1 at JDC, 1 at PAWS, and 5 at the Sheriff's Department for a total of 9. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Any questions?
I have one. Miscellaneous 5. What does that mean? It falls under no other category?
One of it could be a bloodborne pathogen, where you had somebody had a possible exposure to a bloodborne pathogen. That would be a miscellaneous. An employee had a severe reaction to a pepper spray. That would be a miscellaneous. Actually, 2 of those.
All right. Just curious.
It doesn't fall under a strain. It doesn't fall under, any body injury. It would fall under something like miscellaneous.
Question also, I was curious about the struck and injured. Is it just a car, or is it any other heavy equipment, or what falls under that category?
Well, struck by is you can have somebody walking through a door where someone's coming out and somebody else is coming in. That's one possibility. you can have, I think there was a table that somebody was squeezing up in the cafeteria to lock, and it slipped and came back and hit them. So that was another struck by. And then, quite honestly, in our public safety field, you can have several struck-bys while someone's trying to make an arrest.
Move to approve.
Second.
James, second. Commissioner Sereno. Any other questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, the report has been approved.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Recovery
Happy
Court.
belated birthday, by the way.
Recovery Court report. Michal Ricks, good evening.
Good evening. Lachelle Ricks for the Recovery Court. Here's our report for March. We had a total of 183 participants. 8 were new, 3 were terminated, and 6 graduated. In our drug court, we have 44 participants and 13 applications in process. For DUI court, we have 34 in our day, 32 in our night, and 16 applications in process. For mental health court, we have 62 total in the program with 13 applications in process. And in our Veterans Court, we have 15, and currently we have 4 applications in process. And that concludes my report.
Questions on the report? Motion approved.
Second.
Commissioner Beverly, second. Commissioner McMurray. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Report has been approved. I believe you have a budget amendment.
I do. We are requesting to move funds from our line 435, which is our office supplies, to our travel line to cover the cost of a conference we're getting ready to go to, as well as a training that has to be paid for before the end of this fiscal budget year.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved. Commissioner Oliver.
Second.
Second. Commissioner Sereno. Is there discussion? Not, please call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly?
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray?
Yes.
Commissioner Sereno?
Yes.
Commissioner James?
Yes.
Commissioner Rather?
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver?
Aye.
Chairman Reed?
Yes,
Thank y'all.
has been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. All right, probation report. Kelly Haley, good evening.
All right, for our month, for the month of March, we closed out 192 cases, which equaled 183 people. The total of probationers or clients that we supervised during the month was 1,282. In our various classes and programs that you have listed on your report, we had a total during the month of 95 participants in one of the classes or programs. 15 of those successfully completed that program that they were in. 5 were discharged unsuccessfully. Usually that is an attendance violation policy, but they were not successful in completing the class. With our Olive Branch ministry, we were able to help a total of 8 clients that were in our office during the month. In the 10 Rocks program, we have 20 active participants with 1 pending a referral for a court date. For the month of March, we submitted $16,500 to the clerk's office to be collected through payment plans, which brought that fiscal year total to $141,535. In the cases that we closed that were not able to send to the clerks for a payment plan, that money's totaled $5,921.50, bringing that fiscal year to $43,861.97. And you'll see there that for the month of March, we supervised a total of 11 clients that the court had deemed indigent. And that would be my report.
Questions on the report? Yes, sir.
The 10 Rocks, none of us work in that. So do you consider that successful and worthwhile?
Yes, sir, I do. We only have 20 participants in it right now, and that is set up for, it's a recovery-oriented court that has to have someone who is on probation and has violated probation either by being arrested for a new possession charge or a violation for testing positive on a drug screen. We had back in February, I believe, a graduation that had, I believe it was 9 participants that had graduated within the last couple of months. They were all able to give a little bit of testimony on how the program had helped them just with accountability. It's linked up with the mental health co-op to get mental health assessments and any kind of treatment that they may need, drug and alcohol or mental health treatment. So the clients that are participating in it and that have participated in it have really noted its benefit to them. And I mean, all of our staff and the court staff that participate in it believe that it is working exactly the way that they were hoping. Yes, sir.
Commissioners?
Need a motion?
Need a motion?
Motion to approve.
To approve. And a second. Commissioner Oliver. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Report has been approved.
Thank you.
Thank you. Correction Work Center. Superintendent William Cope. Good evening, sir.
First in your packet, you will see the minutes from our Work Center Board County Corrections Partnership meeting. Next is going to be the work release program statistics. That program is going great still. Our yearly activity report, population's up just a little bit, but that's pretty normal for this time of year. This past, in March, our beautification program picked up 10,931 pounds on county roads and 624 bags on state routes. And then our monthly worker report, you will see a total combined savings of $81,360 using inmate labor. And that is my report, and I believe I have a request for our normal grant also.
Okay, we'll take your report. And Commissioners, any questions on his report?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. And the second, Commissioner Rather. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Report has been approved.
And then finally, I have a grant request to apply for our 24-25 Tennessee Department of Transportation litter grant program. We've been applying for this for several years now. The only difference between last year and this year is the difference of $100 less.
Move to approve.
A motion to approve.
Second.
And second, Commissioner Oliver. Call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly?
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray?
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrif? Yes. Commissioner James?
Yes.
Commissioner Rather?
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver? Chairman Reed?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you all.
All right. Thank you, sir. Juvenile detention.
Good evening. In front of you, you're going to have all of our normal reports for the month of March. And first, you're going to see the minutes for our Juvenile Detention Center Board. Followed by our March yearly activity report. Information regarding those that came in the building and were released, those that stayed, and our STD statistics, and then our facility programming, which of course is going to be our education and the programming that our chaplain and some of our other volunteer folks do. And I'll happily answer any questions for you.
Any questions or comments on the report, Commissioners?
Move to approve.
Got a motion to approve
Second.
and a second. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? It has been approved.
Thank you.
Emergency Services, Public Safety Report and Radio System Report. Director Chris Clark. Good evening, sir.
Chairman, committee. Hopefully in front of you, you have our monthly report. Note that we have changed the range from March the 1st to March the 30th, such as fire and EMS has, so they'll run somewhat similar. One of the things that I'd like to add is that this last week was the National Public Safety Telecommunicator Week, and we're really proud of our PSAPs and the people that operate that on a day-to-day basis. They're their first line of help, and they do a tremendous job. If you'll note in there, they took in 1,100 911 calls just last month. That's my report, and then I'll have something that's came up that I need to ask for permission.
Okay, we'll do that. You have the report. Commissioners, any questions on the report? Got a motion to approve.
Second.
Had the second. Commissioner McMurray. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? It has been approved. Yes, sir.
So I want to ask your permission to receive a donation from Cardinal Health of approximately 60 pallets of nitrile fentanyl-proof gloves for our EMS, fire, law enforcement. This is a donation through Cardinal Health, which is a huge impact on our stock. And we wanted permission to receive these donations. 60 pallets.
Move to approve.
Have a motion to approve, and we have seconds all over the committee, I believe, what we got here. Further discussion? Tell you what, let's do a roll call on that since we are receiving something.
Sorry about that.
Commissioner Beverly?
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray?
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrif?
Yes.
Commissioner James?
Yes.
Commissioner Rather?
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver?
Aye.
Chairman Reed?
Yes.
Thank you.
I remember back in 2020, that would have been like gold, wouldn't it?
Well, that is from 2020, the results of it. So we thank this company. They've been great to us. We continue to work with these guys up there. They're in Laverne. We're getting 60 now. There could be even more coming to us. So this is going to be helpful to all of our public safety personnel.
I have a quick question. I noticed on here that you met with Senator Hagerty's office regarding grants. How was that a good outcome, good dialogue?
I believe so. I believe so.
Thank you.
We're hoping to speed some processes up with grants.
Okay. Thank you, sir. All right, Emergency Medical Service, Director Brian Gaither.
Good evening, Commissioners, Chairman. Yeah, the impact of those gloves on us is we spend about $55,000 a year on gloves, so much appreciated. For the month of March, we had 3,526 calls, 11 hospital transfers, response time of 6 minutes, 56 seconds. We had 172 DOAs for the month. 29 of those went for autopsies. And collections of $1,020,446. then breakdown of the mileage and the mileage driven for the month, some classes and some events we covered. On our convalescent division, they did 391 calls, collected $123,501. And then the next few pages is that more detailed report, call volume by zip codes and call volume response times by shifts and units. And that's my report.
Questions on the report? Checked out your zip code there?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Approve, and then we have a second. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
I had a question. Sorry, I didn't turn the mic on in time. Just curious, in your response time, what would be ideal?
We like to say anything under 7 minutes has kind of been our goal. I know there's some surrounding counties, their goal is under 8 minutes, and they do not meet that goal. They have more units and less calls than we do, so anything under 7, extremely happy with. And of course, those numbers can get skewed at any time. Just right before I came up here, we had our Christiana unit in the north end making a call, 2 Murfreesboro units in the north end making a call, and the Eagleville unit on standby in the north end of the county. So those things can, depending on how often that happens, can really skew those numbers. But to answer your question, anything under than 7.
Mr. Oliver, I want to add to that, and before I say this, it's not a reflection of his department or the responders are getting there as quick as they can. I had a case up in Smyrna, we requested an ambulance and it took 17 minutes. That was from us radioing saying we need one to that ambulance coming on scene. At that same time, we had another call requiring an ambulance. That one took 22 minutes. So they're getting there as quick as they can. It's just they're coming from so far away. It's a domino effect, and that's how it affects each and every one of us, is that one of those trucks is coming from our district or our district is being left without one to cover the others. So that's why we need to pay attention to growing our EMS and making sure that they have the resources available, because that's a long time to be doing CPR.
That's exactly why I asked the question. That's exactly why I asked the question. Thank you.
You know, today, coming in here down New Salem, I saw an ambulance in the distance coming. Traffic was, as people were coming out of Murfreesboro, were lined up all the way down. On my side of the road, everybody had pulled over to allow that ambulance to take the center lane. Right in front of Publix, I saw an individual who you could tell, I saw the lady look in her rearview mirror, seeing the ambulance coming. She knew she wanted to get up there at that light and turn left. She pulls out to get in that center lane to get ahead of that ambulance. She blocks that ambulance. Gets up there at that light because the light goes red. I think that affects your times. And today's growth that we have, the traffic that we have, that's affecting everything we got to. I understand totally what you're talking about of having it. When I became a commissioner in 2014, we were having Rockwell had no ambulances. Eagleville had one, and just as you said right there, the Eagleville ambulance might be in Smyrna. Had a call out there. So this is an age-old problem that we've had for a long time. And as we seem like we feel like we're getting to a point of success, you know, somebody moves the checker out of the way. And then here we go again. And this is something that's there right now.
It's true, and I often have constituents speak to me about the schools, and I have to explain to them we have other infrastructure needs, you know, namely our EMS, you know.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we do some type of PSA announcement or just like an update to remember, when you see law enforcement, pull over, or, you know, I don't know, because some people may have forgotten since they took the test.
That's true, and I know the state does those initiatives a lot of you know, the move to the right and those type things. I don't know if we do anything locally, but maybe a good idea. But as Commissioner mentioned, they're probably well aware, but their main priority was to get to where they were going.
One more question on that point. And it's probably a public health issue with the decibel level, but sometimes you don't hear the siren until it's pretty much, and I remember growing up, you could hear that siren from far away. That's why I said I'm sure it's probably a health thing, maybe regarding the ears or something, but you can't always hear them right away.
Yeah, that's true. And there's, cars are better insulated, and because they're extremely loud, but I agree with you. There's a lot of times, and you know, with us, you probably see us before you hear us because they are well lit.
We probably had our windows down too, or something like that. And plus, the traffic, I think, absorbs a lot of it. Or we got that radio up too, or whatever. So yeah, I see. All right. Any other questions before we vote? Yes, sir.
One more comment. A lot of this is just the growth.
Yes, sir.
We're crowded. Yes, the ambulance siren is, you don't really hear it till it's close to you, but they also have the air horns, which are very loud. And sadly, I've been to 2 funerals in the last 3 months. I've been in the procession. When I was growing up, everybody moved over and stopped. Nowadays, they don't care. So it's a growth issue, one of the many growth issues we have, but it's also just respect.
Right.
That it's just respect. And knowing, you think about the lady that pulls out and blocks the ambulance. What if that was her parent that the ambulance was going to, or her child? Get out of the way. Move over. Be conscious of your surroundings. Now, I know there's probably 30 people listening to this right now, so it's not going to make a huge impact, but that's what you deal with. But I know for a fact, our public safety, fire, EMS, EMA, Sheriff's Office, they do all they can to get where they need to be to take care of somebody or to stop a violent whatever. So it's life. Life as we know it now. It's not life as I knew it back then, and most of us in here, Chairman Phillips, been here a long time. It used to be a certain way, and now it's just, it's everywhere. So all you can do is all you can do.
That's it.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to share with the director, the family who has the mother fell in the floors, and they called the ambulance. They got there very quick. They really appreciate. Would like to convey the appreciation to yours.
Thank you. We have some great people, great staff.
Okay, we ready to vote? All those in favor of approving the report, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Thank you for your comments. I believe do you have anything else?
I do. I have a budget amendment that was last minute this morning added to it, but it's free money. It's to recognize donations to go into the donation account for us to use on EMS Week that's coming up next month.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve. We have the second. Discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly?
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrino,
Yes.
Commissioner James,
Yes.
Commissioner Rather,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver, Chairman Reed.
Yes,
Thank you.
been approved.
And then I have, go ahead, Commissioner.
Quick question, when is EMS week? Do you know?
It's a week-long that starts on Monday, goes through Friday, recognizes EMS providers across, I guess it's across the country. So a lot of the hospitals kind of jump on board and, you know, food or shirts or those type things. So. I got two other things too, and I hate to be long-winded because I pride myself on being short when I'm up here, but obviously, you know, we're in the budget cycle, and going through that budget process, we were looking at different ways to increase revenue. One thing we came across was increasing our patient charge rates. We look back, and we're talking with the chairman, I think we increased them in 2019 when we went with the new billing company. We haven't touched them since then, and as we all know, with the changes since 2019, inflation alone has cost us more money to do our job. I compared rates with services surrounding us, and they're all over the place. There's really no consistency. We've been working with our billing company about doing a certain percentage over the Medicare allowable, and I think we settled on kind of where we are to increase those rates. But I spoke with the mayor and Michael Smith and Commissioner Reed, and we kind of all agreed on those rates. So, and we had a discussion. I wasn't in this position in 2019, so I didn't know if that had to come through the commission or if that's, so I'm bringing it here, asking to proceed with the rate increase.
So, quick question. Well, what's the current rate and what are you proposing to increase it to?
Well, it depends on which box it fits in. So we have 6 different categories. It's a BLS emergency, a BLS non-emergency, an ALS emergency, an ALS2, an ALS non-emergency, and a specialty care transport and mileage. So we're pretty even with a couple of the counties that I looked at. One of them was over us, and some of the other ones was below us. But with those patient charges, a lot of times that number really doesn't matter because Medicare pays what Medicare pays. It doesn't matter what you charge. TennCare pays what TennCare pays. It doesn't matter what you charge. It's the commercial providers to where you can increase. And the ALS2 is, or the ALS emergency is probably our biggest area, and we were under, I think we're proposing to increase that call $100 because we were grossly under where we should have been.
When are you going for your budget process to the budget committee? I'm looking at the calendar. What date is it that you presenting?
The 15th.
I would like to see some kind of breakdown of the numbers. It sounds promising, but I'd like to see the breakdown of what it is and what you're requesting.
So if we,
I didn't get anything on the iPad.
If we went to 200% of the Medicare allowable, so if we went 200% over Medicare allowable, which I know sounds like a lot, but that Medicare allowable with ambulance transportation is pretty low. If we went with that, it would, in 2023, it would have produced about $590,000 in increased revenue. The numbers we came up with were somewhere around the 175% of Medicare allowable, so it backed off of that a little bit. But that's based off of 2023 call volume numbers, and those are going to be different in 2024. Our volume increases every year.
But it has to, what we were looking at, it goes through this committee before it goes to budget is what to him.
Well, I
So-
understand that, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, Commissioner, I didn't see you. I was saying I understand it goes through us, and it sounds promising, but I don't have any numbers to know the realistic idea to.
Like some?
Oh, that'd been great. I would love to. I don't have any of that.
Hand that to him. That work?
So this is, and I can share that spreadsheet with everyone that came from our billing company.
So, Director, you recommend this?
Yes, sir.
Obviously,
Yes, sir.
for a reason.
Yes, sir.
You direct EMS, not us,
Yes, sir.
not any of us. So, I want to make the motion to send this with our recommendation to budget, and those who want the factual numbers and details can go to budget or watch it on TV or whatever. So I think you're asking for a recommendation to go to budget.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that correct?
Yes.
I make that motion to recommend this to budget.
Have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Now we have discussion.
I can agree with Commissioner James that, yeah, we would like to have the numbers, and I just looked over what you sent, but I also know we don't meet until after the 15th in May, so kind of time is of the essence, or we're going to hold something back, and I would yield to your judgment on this one, on where we should be using your professional experience and also comparing to other counties.
Thank you.
Can you share the data?
Yes.
Y'all kept it on that end. I mean,
I
you can
will-
share out, that's fine.
Yeah. But- And I can forward those emails. I can forward that email to you later on this afternoon.
Yeah, I agree with both commissioners, what they said. Just, it would have been helpful, I guess, before the meeting, we'd had that
Yeah, and-
spreadsheet or whatever. But I know it's maybe in the last minute.
And I do apologize. This kind of all came together at the end of last week.
Yeah, we got a motion. We have a second. We do have the motion and second. There's
Yes.
motions here, and second was right here. Yeah, it was done. Further discussion? Call the roll.
Commissioner Beverly,
Yes.
Commissioner McMurray,
Yes.
Commissioner Sherrino,
Yes.
Commissioner James,
No.
Commissioner Rather,
Yes.
Commissioner Oliver,
Aye.
Chairman Reed.
Yes.
And
Pass.
one last thing. This is also another thing that I don't have a whole lot of information on, and I have dug to try to get the information. We had EMS Day on the Hill back on March the 19th. There was a bucket of money that was discovered that is going to go to EMS agencies for equipment, between $5,000 and $150,000 to the people that apply for the grant. It's a no-match grant, first come, first serve. A lot of the information is slow to come out. We kind of know that it's basically around equipment, but it's going to be gobbled up quickly. So I've spoken with Michael, Alyssa, Reba, Carrie in the EMA's office, and they're all like me. We need more information, but it's a no-match grant, first come, first serve. So if somebody wants us to give us some money to buy some equipment, I want to take their money, or at least attempt to take their money.
I'm comfortable with the no-match grant for equipment, because I think we can handle the ongoing costs compared to personnel and things like that, so I'd make a motion to approve.
Motion and a second. Further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed?
Thank you. Sorry to be so long-winded.
Okay. Any other business? If not, we adjourn.